There's actually two of them look a little bit like zebras. Those are called okapi. Even though they look like zebras, they're actually not related to them at all. Those things are much, much closer relatives to giraffes than anything else around here. Gonna head down around the watering hole here next. Sometimes you see some pretty rare animals this way, like black rhinos. Now, as large and powerful as the rhinos are, they still do have one predator in the world today, and that predator does happen to be poachers. Sadly, the poachers have dwindled their numbers down to near extinction in Africa. There's only about 5,000 of those guys left. So when we see one all the way up there, it's pretty cool. Definitely very, very, very lucky to see one too. So get a good look at that guy. There's actually one more right down here too, on the left again. So not only one, but two of these rhinos here, so very, very lucky there. Let's see what else we got going on in the forest here before we head on. Haven't seen anything up there on the right side just yet. A couple of those white birds up there, those are egrets, I think. Pretty sure. Nothing much else going on up there though, so I think we're gonna keep moving on here. We got a pretty good start though. We saw a few different antelope species. We found a couple of birds and a pair of rhinos out there. So hopefully all that good luck will stick with us now as we head a little farther in. We're gonna take this road. Let's see where it's gonna lead us on to next. Well, it looks like it's taking us out of the forest actually and down into the Safi River. The river here is a good place to try and spot some hippos. Actually, there's a pair of them down there on the right side. Now, if you can't see those ones too well just yet, don't worry, folks. There's usually a pretty big group of them around here, and I think I know where they like to hang out, so we're going to try and find those ones. Alright, looks like there's quite a few of them on the other side of this island here. Alright, there you go. Quite a few of them right down there. So that's how hippos do spend most of their day in the water like that. They can do a lot of things down there too. You can see those ones. Some of them are still sleeping. They're actually pretty good swimmers though too, despite the big size that they have. And they can even sink all the way to the bottom and walk on the riverbeds when they want to. Can hold their breath under there for about 8 minutes at a time. It's quite a bit longer than the rest of us. Now, this bridge here gets pretty bumpy, folks, so it's really important that everybody stays seated while we head across, especially with some of those Nile crocodiles down in the water there. Now, the jaws on those crocs are very strong, very, very powerful. They're actually able to produce enough pressure with those things to crunch right through bones. That's helped them hunt things that are much, much bigger than themselves. So I don't really like to hang around above them for too long. I think we're going to keep going up the hill here. See what we can find right around the next bend. Got this really strange looking tree coming up here on our right side now. So this is called a baobab tree, and the baobabs there, they remain leafless like that for about 9 months every year. It does help them to survive in Africa with very, very little water. We'll probably see more of those along the way, but right through here, you're going to get to see one of my favorite views on the whole reserve. These are the Serengeti grasslands, and they span for hundreds of miles across all of Africa. They act as a superhighway for many of the migrating animal species around here, but they're also home to some of those more famous critters too, like lions, elephants, and giraffes. So I'm hoping to find some of those for us today. Let's see though. Looks like there's a larger clearing out there on the right. We're going to head around towards that, but got to get through these trees here first. So definitely keep your eyes open for anything else you might find along the way. Definitely see a couple of animals right out there. Gonna get a little closer to those guys here in just a minute or two. But we don't want to miss anything that could be hiding under a tree or behind a bush or anything too. Alright, well, we're going to check this clearing up here in front of us out, and then we'll get over towards those gray animals there. So make sure there's nothing else up here. So Doesn't really look like there's anything out there on the left just yet, but here we go. We got the wildebeest now on our right side. So the wildebeest, they are part of one of the largest animal migrations here in Africa. And every year you can see hundreds of those ones migrating right across the savannah looking for fresh grass to eat. So I'd say that's a pretty small group of them right there. Only a few. Pass through some of these termite mounds now on our way up. Those are kind of those orangish, reddish hills you see on both sides of us. And I get up around the bend there. I would think we'd probably find a couple animals up there if they're not down this way. Let's see once we get up here. Sometimes you do come through areas though where you don't really see too much going on, and it's not really a bad sign. Usually just means that the animals migrate a little farther up the savannah. They do move around out here quite a bit. So every now and then they move back and forth. It does make it pretty tough for us to actually know where they're going to be. Check up here though. Looks like it's maybe a little early for everything here. Oh, I got something that actually it looks like just up here, so head up here and check these guys out. It's coming up on the left side. So a few of those animals there with the very, very big horns on them. Those are called Ankole cattle. As big as those horns are, they're not actually as heavy as you might think. Those Ankole horns are kind of honeycomb shaped on the inside. And it makes them a little lighter to carry around, since it's not solid all the way through. Kind of hiding back there. Alright, well, it looks like most of the things out here are hiding pretty well so far, but we got a long way to go yet, folks. So we're going to keep heading on right up through this little passageway, and we'll see what we can find on the other side of that. Going on just up this way here now. It's pretty big. Oh, there we go. Take a look on the right side. Pretty big elephant out there, guys. Real quick here, take a look on the left too. You got some monkeys up there as well. Those are mandrills. There's one all the way in the back. There's a few more right there. Now, that elephant looks like he's by himself, so I'm going to guess he's a male elephant. They do tend to go off on their own a little more than females do. But where there's one elephant, you can't usually bet on there being a few more around. They like to travel in larger herds usually. So we're going to head on and maybe see if any of his buddies are around here. Try and get an even better look at them, since not really showing you his best side right there. I'm not seeing any more of them out there just yet, but it does look like there's a pathway right up over that hillside. Could be where the rest of the herd went off to. I'm going to try and follow them on over there. I think this bridge here might be our only way over too. So let's go ahead and make our way across this thing. Ooh. That does not sound good there, guys. Hang on. Get us right back off of this thing here. Alright. You never know about some of those older bridges here, guys. They can really hold you for too long, and I don't like to take my chances on them. Better safe than sorry and all that. But lucky for us, we did make it across, and look what we found right down here. All of these tusk marks here in the clay. That's a really good sign that those elephants hopefully were through here not too long ago. And maybe we'll be able to catch up to a couple of them. I would like to get you folks a much better look at their tusks if I'm able to. Those things are made out of ivory and they are very beautiful to look at. But we know that the poachers value them for the money they get off of them. So they'll actually hunt the elephants here and sell their tusks on the black market to try and make a profit from them. Of course, we have worked very hard out here to try and stop those poachers, and we've been doing a pretty good job lately. It's been about 2.5 years now since we've actually seen any of them on the reserve here. And it looks like there are some elephants just up ahead of us, so They're down by their watering hole right now, but they might be moving up here, so we'll hang on for just a second or two, see if they come around the tree. If they don't, they're down there too. So that might be what we're doing. Oh, there he goes. Alright, so you can see that little guy out there. Not too old. It usually takes the elephants about 2 to 3 years to start growing those tusks in, so you really don't see any on that one there. So I guess probably about that old. Tough to tell. The little ones all look pretty similar without those things, though. We'll head down this way, see if there's any more of them right down here too. Now you might have noticed these big ears that these African elephants have out here. All the African elephants, oh, there goes that guy too, taking off down that way. Alright, well, he's heading down that way. I'm not sure exactly where that guy's going. Let's see if we can see him right over here. He's taking off all the way down that way, so I don't know where he's running off to, but that was kind of cool. Could be. I don't know. Took off real fast though. So we're gonna let this little bird here in front of us move out of the way. You can see all those other birds though on the island down there. Those are breeder flamingos, those pink ones. They're the whitest and palest pink flamingos in Africa. And the really, really bright flamingos that you're all very used to seeing probably are called lesser flamingos. It just doesn't look like any of those ones down there right now. So, got a few of them there. We're going to keep heading on because we still want to find some of those other well-known animals like lions and maybe a few other things out here too. Oh, or like this ostrich right up here. Alright. Yeah, well, there's some cool stuff up there too, guys, so we'll see.
He's like, I'm not moving.
Yeah, he doesn't really care that much. Actually, it's a she, so we're going to kind of hang out here.
That's hilarious.
Look up over there. There's 2 rhinos walking the space here. There's 2 huge rhinos. You see the 2 rhinos?
Wow. The rhinos are There's 2 big rhinos.
That's an ostrich.
Alright, so this happens sometimes, guys. This is the animal's homeland, so we give them the right of way. We let them move on.
Look at the big rhinos.
Before we do, luckily for us, looks like this guy is
Oh, wow.
going to keep moving forward. So, ostriches are the largest birds in Africa. It's easy to see that. They got those big, big wings to go with their big bodies, but believe it or not, they don't know how to fly, so they really can't use them all that well. You got some zebras there, very migratory ones. See, they found a nice patch of grass to eat off of. And the brown ones there are bontabak.
This was a good ride. You see a lot. Rhinos and antelope.
Alright, so you got the bontabak, you got the white rhinos there. I'm trying to get us around so that we can see them really well. Actually, these are pretty good here because there's even more of them out there. So lots and lots of good stuff here, guys. Now the white rhinos, just like the black rhinos, are also hunted and poached with the horns on their heads. It really has become a constant struggle to try and help protect them from the poachers. Now their horns, though, they're not made out of ivory or anything like the elephant tusks are. They're made out of something called keratin. And keratin is the same stuff that our hair and fingernails are made out of, believe it or not. So that's kind of neat if you think about it. Even more stuff going on up here. Look up on the hillside there, guys. Got a pair of cheetahs out there, actually, and the one was just running around on the top. So you got the one just kind of hanging out there. There's one more way, way, way up there. They are the fastest land mammals here in Africa, those ones. They can run up to about 60 miles an hour. That's pretty quick. But just like the rest of us too, cheetahs get very tired after a little while. So they can only do it for a couple seconds at a time.
Yes.
So it's like we said, I guess the animals all just moved up a little farther into the savannah. Saw just about everything right there. So a whole bunch of stuff. But we do have this rock formation in front of us now. This is called a kopie. And you can probably see that thing up there already. There's a lion. Right up there. Right up there. So there's a female up there on top of the rock. They like to stay up there because it gives them a really good view over the savannah. Lets them keep track of everything going on down below them. So there's a female. We're going to swing around this way and try and get a good look at the male here too, though. Just hang on for just a second here, guys. There he is. So pretty cool to see a pair of them like that. Sometimes you come through during the day and you don't see them too much. They're inactive actually for about 18 to 20 hours a day, those ones, believe it or not.
Beautiful.
That's because the lions there, they'll hunt during the nighttime. So they really just need to save out their energy for that instead of using it all up during the day.
Look at the female from this side.
So really, really cool. There's the male. Again, you got...
Two females up there.
There's two females, yeah, all the way up there. How about that? So, pretty neat. Well, they're cats, so they're pretty good at climbing things. Climb on up the rocks there. But that's pretty cool. So we found about 3 of them out there today. Really, really neat.
Awesome thing I've ever seen.
See a little pride like that. We got something else up here too. We got a warthog off there to our left. We got those big, sharp, pointy tusks on their faces. They use those things to fend off a lot of the predators that they might have around here. Don't think I'd want to mess with those tusks either, so I can understand that. The eggs down here on our left side are definitely ostrich eggs. Could belong to one of the ones that we saw before. They can weigh up to about 5 pounds each, those things. So they're pretty big, but you do need a big egg for a big bird like that. We saw how big their wings are before. Now, we said they can't fly. What ostriches can do pretty well, though, is run very fast. They can run to about 40 miles an hour, believe it or not. So, guess if you can't fly, that should be a pretty even trade there. What do we got here? A bit more ground to cover still. One more bridge across. Hopefully this one here doesn't give us too much trouble. As we head off into the glen, it looks like we got something waiting for us over here, too. Alright, so that guy up there on our right side is called an addax. And I'm wondering if there's going to be any more of them around here. Oh yeah, there's definitely at least down here. Okay, so it's pretty cool. So you got a bunch of these addax out here. Now they have those really cool horns on their heads. Check those things out. I like those a lot. Very cool, very unique. Now the addax, though, they're pretty rare too. There's only about 300 of those guys left in the wild today. Not a whole lot roaming around out there anymore. And it just goes to show you it's not only the larger animals like rhinos and elephants that get hit by those poachers. Even those smaller antelope like those guys are affected too. So we do have to work very, very hard to protect all the different animals around here. Of course, though, living and working very closely with these animals can be pretty challenging too. Those animals do like to make our lives a little tougher sometimes, but we definitely do that to them as well. Some of those animals can even take our supplies and our resources and things like that when they get a little too close to them. But to be fair to all of those animals, humans are the ones constantly moving and expanding right out into their homelands. So here in Harambe, we're just looking for a way we can all live together in harmony, because that way everybody wins, and really that is exactly what we want out here. Now, I do think that our safari is just about at its end, though, folks. We're going to be coming up to a warden's post here, and I'm going to have to drop everyone off. It's only going to be a short walk back to the Harambe village, though, so you want to gather up your belongings. Looks like the warden's ready for us. And here in Africa, we hate to say goodbye to our new friends. We think it's too sad, and we always hope to see you again. So instead of goodbye, we use a Swahili phrase that means to go well, and that phrase is kwaherini. So, kwaherini, everyone. Ciao, warden. All right.